Okay guys, so in today's video, I'm going to give you some really valuable information that I actually wish I knew when I started in this business. One of the things that I do now for another income is produce music for film and television. And if you're just breaking into the business, if you're a beginner, the information that I give you right now, is going to get you on the right path to sell your instrumentals, completed songs, or even beats, and get them placed on pretty big TV shows and films and commercials. So let's start with tip number one. So if you're just starting out and you want to ultimately place music, you're going to need a batch of songs. So I would say a good number is to have at least 40 songs. I mean, you have to start somewhere, but if you have at least 40, that'll give you like a good head start in this business. So step one, produce at least 40 songs and make sure these songs are radio ready. They cannot sound like demos. They cannot sound awful. I mean, make it your best work. So 40 is a good number. If you only have 10 and you want to start, it's going to be a little more difficult, especially to make any money with like such a small batch. But 40 will get you on your way, and the key is that you're going to always produce new content. So step one, produce 40 songs. And it should be in the genre that you're strong in. So if you're mainly a hip-hop, rap, R&B producer, stick with that. Don't really get into pop rock unless you can do pop rock really well. But if it's not your genre, you're competing with some of the best in the world. So you have to be the best at what you do. So if that's what you're really good at, just stick with that genre. Don't get into orchestral stuff and try to compete with Hans Zimmer, because the chances of you selling a song or having it placed, it's slim to none. Because like I said, there are people out there that have been doing this for years, especially with the orchestral stuff. I kind of dabbled in it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with what I do best. Because, I mean, there's people that actually hire orchestras and stuff to, transcribe their MIDI files. So, you don't want to get into that. So just stick with what you're best. So once you have your batch of songs, the next thing you want to do, this is very important, you have to sign up with a music collection society. So depending on where you are in the world, pretty much every country has their own. If you're in the States, there's ASCAP and BMI, I guess. I'm Canadian, so I signed up with SOCAN. So just see if it's yeah. So basically what you do is, so once you have those 40 songs, you sign up with these collection society, and you start registering each song. So you register the title, and everything is logged in that you own it 100%. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. If you co-produce with someone and you have additional writers, you have to have an agreement in place with them. So if you did 70% of the writing, they did 30, you can actually log in, and once you register your music, you can assign percentages of who owns what. So that's very important. Have that in place. So what is the point of this? This society, like once you start getting your music placed in film and TV, they send out statements quarterly. So every 3 months, you're basically going to get a statement, and it's going to show you exactly what country played what TV show your music was featured in, and you're going to get paid. And let me just show you like a part of one of my statements. So as you can see, this is just a part of one, and I'm not showing you obviously what I earn. I don't want to divulge that, but my music is featured on Catfish the TV show, E! News Live, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Married to Medicine. To be honest, I don't even know what most of these shows are. And I don't know when my music is featured until after I actually get the statement and get to go through it. Because a lot of the libraries that I deal with, they don't really tell you anything until the music is sold, placed, and then, like I said, you get the statement. So now, once you've done that, you want to start trying to sell your music. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend going on some of the big music sellers, and probably one of the biggest that pretty much anybody can sign up and start selling right away is Pond 5. So I keep some of my stuff on there, and occasionally get sales. It's not a lot, but it's there. So right away, you can sign up, get a free account, you name your price, and I think they pay 50% or 40% of the final cost. So that'll kind of get your feet wet into the business. And don't expect a lot of sales. You might not get any sales for a couple months because you do need a lot of content, a lot of quality music. And it's very straightforward on their system. You might upload 10 songs. They might accept all 10. They might reject 5 if they have too many that sound like it. So, kind of, you can go on their forums as well and start checking. So that's just to get you started. Like I said, a lot of the big TV placements and stuff, you're not likely going to get from this website. Another one that you can do that it's not too difficult to get in is Audio Sparks. So it's similar to Pond 5. And the nice thing with Audio Sparks is that, once you sign up, obviously you give them your Music Society number, so they track everything very nicely. Pond 5, a lot of the sales are just like, one-time kind of thing, and you won't get royalties. But this website with Audio Sparks, they even have like radio channels. So I have songs that play on radio stations worldwide, and I get royalties from them just because of that. So it's not only the music that they sell, but it's the actual royalty system that they got in place, which is very good. So like I said, these two websites, Pond 5 and Audio Sparks, is just basically to get you started. But it's not going to get, you're not going to earn a living from these two websites. So you're going to have to look for more music libraries. And this is something that I highly recommend. I am not affiliated with them at all. So this is something that I did years ago. Go to Music Library Report. Now, it's a music forum, and unfortunately, it's you have to pay to use it. But what you want to do now is you don't have to get a membership like yearly or whatever. What I did was I actually just got like a weekly membership back then. So as you can see here, they have you can get a weekly pass or a month pass or 3 or whatever. You might find that you actually like it and you might get the lifetime pass. I mean, that's totally up to you. But this website is super valuable because it's got pretty much every music library listed. And not only that, because you can do enough searches on Google and find, all the music libraries, but they have everything rated. So there's actual forum members that rate, the actual music libraries. And if there's some that are a little bit on the shady side, that they don't pay or they take their time, it gets posted. So you'll know exactly which ones to avoid and which ones are good to deal with. So if you have time, if you have like a week off, just get the 1 week and go in every day, and you want to start compiling a list. So once you've signed up here, I probably suggest get a month, so that way you can kind of like check out more of the things that they have posted. But a month is probably a good amount of time to get you to go through all the listings. So once you do that, you're going to create a simple Excel file. And this is what you want to do. So you just create like a basic thing like this, like music library. Oh, sorry. Dates submitted. Response. So basically, you're going to go through, on that website, you're going to go through each and every single music library. And this is another thing that I forgot to mention, but they should be dealing with your style of music. So if they do rock, don't bother contacting them with like a hip hop track. That's silly, right? So make sure that they cater to your genre of music and start submitting. Now, there's going to be many non-exclusive libraries, which are good for your batch of songs that you already have, but there's going to be many exclusive libraries, and usually that's where the money is at. You want to get with some good exclusive libraries. So you're going to send off all these emails, you're going to list them, you're going to send them a few samples. Most will just take like a simple MP3 file, and then it's just a waiting game. So I did that when I started this, and I sent out probably 20, 30 that I thought would fit, and then I ended up with like a handful that I consistently create music for. So the key is eventually you're going to get accepted with some exclusive libraries, and the way it works with them is they might ask you for 10 or 20 songs at one time. So what you're basically going to have to produce, let's say 10 hip-hop songs, 10 pop songs, instrumentals with vocals, whatever they're looking for, and just submit it to them. So yes, it is a little scary that you're spending all that time creating music just for one library, and then you cannot sell that music anywhere else. You still own the rights to that music, but you can't put it anywhere else to any other library. So it's a trial and error. You're gonna go to that forum, you're gonna read the reviews, and you're gonna test things out yourself. But in the end, this is the way to do it. You want to eventually have many, many songs, and a lot of them being exclusives, dealing with the exclusive libraries, and a lot non-exclusive. And that's what's going to start making you money. Like these libraries go and place your music, and you're going to start seeing your royalties come in through the Music Collection Society. Now, there are some libraries that may pay you an upfront fee, but most do not. So you're creating this music on your own time. They don't pay you anything upfront. When they place a song, they don't pay you anything. They basically split the revenue 50-50. So once it gets placed in a commercial, a television show, whatever it is, they get 50% and you get 50%. And that's the standard pretty agreement that's in place. The percentages, they may differ from one library to the other, but the standard kind of thing that I found is it's just 50-50. So that's basically what will get you started in this business. And the key is you have to keep producing. So if you seriously want to make some good money with this, you have to produce new material every single week. It's not an easy job. Nothing is easy if you want to be successful, but you have to do it. And eventually the ultimate goal is that in 10, 20 years, you have this nice, large collection of music, and it's beautiful. Like I have songs that I've produced like 10 years ago or even more, and they're still being placed. They're still collecting money. They're still earning money. So it's really nice. And I'm hoping, eventually when I retire, that I'll have like such a large library of music that'll be like my pension right there. That all these royalties, they'll, shows that keep getting played and stuff. Every time an old show gets played and, your music is on there, you're going to earn something. So that's the whole thing. So I hope this was helpful. Um, like I said, I wish I knew this when I started. But especially, this is the way to go, especially if you don't live in like a music production hub like LA. Um, Living in an area like that, you could probably network more and meet people. But, if you're living in a small town somewhere, you have to do everything through the internet, and this is the way to do it. One quick story. I had a recording studio in LA for many years, and one random day I was at West LA Music, just looking for music gear like I always do. And the guy working there he saw me looking through like some of the high end gear, and he's like, "Hey man, do you know anybody that can do beat production?" And I'm like, "Well, I produce beats all the time. I've done it for clients all the time." And he's like, "Well, Trevor Horn just went through a whole bunch of guys, and he's looking for some more beat producers." So Trevor Horn is like a pretty big producer. He's produced Seal, and he was in an 80s band, Radio, that song Radio Killed the Video Star, or something like whatever that was. So yeah, just being in the area, I got to network, and the next day I'm at the guy's mansion, and he's giving me a DAT tape with a new Seal record that he's doing, and he wanted beat production for one particular song. I went and I worked my ass off, and I gave him like 10 options the next day. And, he was nodding, he seemed happy, and that was it. I just left it with that. And then when he went back into the kitchen, one of the engineers said, don't get upset if he doesn't end up using it. It's just, he's been working on this album for months. The company's getting, I think it was Warner Music, they were getting on his case to finish, and he likes to experiment so much. So he had told me like they already went through so many guys, and they didn't end up using my music for that. But that's the thing, like I was living in LA, and that was just like a thing that happened because I just happened to be in the right place. So for many people that are just, in different countries and in small towns, you're not going to get those opportunities. So you have to really hustle hard and do everything through the internet. And if you follow these basic tips, this should be a pretty good start to get you going. So that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, just leave me a comment below, and I will do my best to answer. Thanks.